Hello, this is a demonstration video of MyToolbar add-in for SOLIDWORKS to manage your SOLIDWORKS macro library. This is the second release of this tool. In this version, it is possible to share the macro library with different users, including the ability to share the toolbar across the network. Once you finish the installation of the add-in, you can start adding the macros directly to your library. So let me start this demonstration by adding a new macro to close all documents except of the active one. I can download the source code from CodeStack website. I can navigate to the macro, copy source code, and simply create new macro in SOLIDWORKS and paste the code in there. Let's validate this macro by simply running it. We can use a play button in the macro toolbar. And now only active document remains open. We can go ahead and configure library in MyToolbar. We need to navigate to configure menu command, and in this space we can add new toolbars and new commands onto that toolbar. We can specify title, optional description, as well as optional icon. We can select an image file from the local drive. We can add macro buttons to the toolbar in a similar way. If you've been adding custom macro buttons to the toolbar using standard SOLIDWORKS functionality, you might remember that you need to specify the specific image parameters to add that image as an icon to macro button. So it should have a specific size as well as specific transparency key. Furthermore, different SOLIDWORKS version will have different parameters. MyToolbar add-in takes this complexity away, and you just need to specify any image with a transparent background, and MyToolbar will take care of scaling that image and applying the appropriate transparency keys. I've just selected the macro and the entry point was automatically populated. Now I want to select the icon for my macro. This is an optional step, you may just use a default one. And I can just specify the title and the description of that macro to be displayed under the icon in the SOLIDWORKS toolbar. It is required to restart SOLIDWORKS to see the changes. Let's restart SOLIDWORKS to see our new toolbar created. We can open any model, navigate to Tools menu, and we can see the application toolbar available in there. So you can see that my description is displayed in the taskbar. Once toolbar is created, you can treat this command as any other button in SOLIDWORKS. So for example, you can host these commands under the command tab box. So let me just create a new command tab box, navigate to commands, and we should be able to find the toolbar which we just created, which is called application toolbar. You can drag and drop buttons to other toolbars or command tab box. You might have noticed there is an issue with visibility of the buttons. This is currently a known issue. You may also assign the shortcut to the buttons. So let me assign the Ctrl-Alt-C shortcut to my close other documents command. I can just search it in the filter and just click the combination I want to assign that as a shortcut. Click OK. So now when I click that combination, all other documents will be closed automatically. Let me close more documents and see it in action. So I'm just going to open a couple of more files and just hit the Ctrl-Alt-C shortcut by activating that model, and once it is done, all other models are closed. We can add as many toolbars as we want into our MyToolbar workspace. So let me go ahead and create another toolbar which is going to host commands for assembly. We can browse our macros from the CodeStack website. So let me just quickly go ahead and copy the source code for two macros and create corresponding toolbar buttons in my toolbar menu. The first macro will allow me to move the component selected in the graphics area into the new folder in the feature manager tree. And the second macro would allow me to copy the path of the selected component to my clipboard. So let me just copy that one and just paste the code here. Now I can add new toolbar and configure its buttons. So I will navigate to my toolbar configure menu, add new toolbar, and give it some name. So in this case it's going to be assembly commands. I will leave the default icon and empty description. And now let me just add two macro buttons and just browse the macros I've just created and assign a title, description, and icons as well. And the button for the second macro. So I'm browsing the macro from the folder, assigning the icon, and specifying title and description. Perform some modifications such as changing title, description on macro by just selecting the button you want to modify. You can also reorder the buttons in the toolbar. So let us now restart SOLIDWORKS to see the changes. Let's open assembly and do some testing. So I can just open the top level assembly here. I will add my newly created toolbar into the SOLIDWORKS default toolbars area. So just right mouse button click and click on assembly commands. I can reorder my toolbar as I wanted. So here's two buttons. You can see the tooltip is displayed. So let us now select a couple of components, click move components to a folder button, and you can see they are moved to the new folder in the feature manager tree. I can select component and click this button to copy the path into the clipboard, and I can just paste it into the notepad, and you can see that works. So let me select another one and activate notepad again and paste it here. So that works. One of the major features of MyToolbar is an ability to share the toolbar with other users or your colleagues across the network. MyToolbar stores all the information in a single file, which can be put into the shared folder. So let me go to Configure button and navigate to that folder. So let me browse that in my file explorer. And this is a file which has information about all of my toolbars. So I can just copy that file, and let me just navigate to one of my shared folders here and simply paste it. I can click on the folder properties to get the UNC path of that folder. So as you can see, it is equals to /@share, which equals to the name of the computer and the folder. Now I want to change the path of my toolbar file to browse it directly from a shared folder. I do not need to specify the UNC path for this particular setting because this is my local setting. However, I need to assign the path to my macro and icons in the UNC format. Just before that, let me copy all of my macros and icons and paste them into the shared folder. Now I just need to modify the settings for my macro path and icon path to be equal to the UNC location. So when I save this toolbar settings, I can easily share it with my other users, and because all of the macros and icons are on the shared folder, all users will be able to reuse them without the need of copying them locally. Once completed, I can click a OK button to save the settings. I can also assign the permissions and read-only attributes to the files, so user won't be able to modify those macros and settings. Here is a machine of another user, which happened to use a different version of SOLIDWORKS, 2015 in this case, and the only step this user needs to do is to relink the path to the toolbar settings file. So in this case, I'm going to link it to shared location. When we click open, the toolbar information is loaded, and because we marked the file as read-only, the toolbar cannot be edited by this user. Once SOLIDWORKS is restarted, all the commands are available for use. Please follow the link in the description of this video for more information about this tool and for the download link. Thank you for your time.